Is the New Jerusalem a literal place? New Testament explained. Imagine a city so magnificent that it captures the essence of hope and restoration. The New Jerusalem, as described in the New Testament, particularly in the book of Revelation, paints a picture of this extraordinary place. This city is said to come down from heaven, symbolizing the ultimate dwelling of God with his people in the new heaven and new earth. In Revelation chapters 21 and 22, the New Jerusalem is depicted with great detail. It features enormous dimensions, walls, gates, and streets made of gold. There is also mention of the river of life and the tree of life, reminiscent of the Garden of Eden. These descriptions suggest that the New Jerusalem is not just a metaphor but a real, tangible city where God will live with redeemed humanity forever, free from sin and death. However, the New Jerusalem is also referred to as the bride, the Lamb's wife. This title introduces a symbolic aspect, indicating that the city represents the collective people of God, those redeemed by Christ. This means that while the New Jerusalem is a physical place, it also symbolizes the spiritual reality of God's people united with Christ. The imagery of a bride highlights the beauty and intimacy of this relationship. Some interpretations suggest that the New Jerusalem is more of a spiritual or figurative reality. In this view, the city represents the church or the community of believers, serving as the eternal dwelling of God's people in a spiritual sense. Others argue that the detailed physical description in Revelation points to an actual city that will exist in the renewed creation. Understanding both the literal and symbolic elements of the New Jerusalem enriches our grasp of Scripture. It is literally the place where God will dwell with his people in the new heaven and new earth, fulfilling his promises of restoration. At the same time, it symbolizes the intimate relationship between Christ and his redeemed people. This dual understanding reminds believers of the hope of a future reality while also experiencing the spiritual union with God in the present. The New Jerusalem encourages faithfulness and hope, showing that God's promises extend beyond this life into an eternal communion with him. In summary, the New Testament presents the New Jerusalem as both a literal city in the new creation and a symbol of the redeemed community united with Christ. This understanding helps believers grasp the full scope of God's redemptive plan as revealed in Revelation.